Oh, no.
Over 90 of the top 100 U.S. accounting firms trust Bill to handle bill pay processes. Why? Because our tools are built on over $1 trillion of secure payments. We're not just moving money. We're powering financial workflows for 500,000 customers. That's a level of expertise you just can't fake. Ready to talk with an expert? Visit Bill.com/proven to get started and grab a $250 gift card as a thank you. Terms and conditions apply. See offer page for details.
The Quilt.
Living memories of queer Britain and Northern Ireland. With me, Tash Walker.
And me, Adam Smith.
Hello, Adam.
Hello, Tash. You know what? Despite all the work that we've done together, Tash, I reckon there's loads of stories we haven't captured.
There's got to be, from all the different places.
Yeah. And now is the time, because queer people, more than ever, are recognising the power of their experiences and their memory.
I want to hear them, Adam.
Yes.
You know what, Adam?
What?
We've got to do it. We've got to travel around the UK.
Yes.
Let's get gathering the stories, the histories, the herstories.
Their stories. Okay, I'm ready.
Let's go.
This is an audio archive for the future. Where are you taking me today, Tash?
Well, Adam, I'm taking you back to an area of the UK that you spent a lot of time in, I think. The North East.
Ah, why, I man. I do have family from up there, it's true. It sounds champion.
Something you're proud of?
Well, it's complicated. I would say neutral. I'm from the East Coast, like near Grimsby, but my dad was from the North East, from South Shields and Newcastle and Sunderland. I've got family all around there.
Okay, they're all northern industrial towns, all mining and shipbuilding historically, right?
Yeah, and plenty of Geordies and Mackhams are very proud of that industrial heritage.
That's why I've called this episode The Pride.
Ah, because pride is so ingrained in the history and the lives of the people living there.
Yeah, exactly, because of what they've been through. Many of those industries were hit incredibly hard in the 80s. We saw their resilience and solidarity through the miners' strikes, but also there was a lot of economic hardship, which still exists today. But there's also this strong sense of identity, determination, and unity, I think, in the face of adversity.
Yeah, like lots of LGBTQ plus people too, like queer people and minors, maybe surprising siblings in arms. But, okay, people looking down on you, resilience through adversity, pride. Yeah, I get it.
Exactly. And actually, that's the perfect intro to our first stop, which is to Durham Pride with LGBTQ plus youth group, Freedom Zone.
This is Sharon and Freedom Zone, and we are waiting outside Stanley Young People's Club for the bus to take us to Durham Pride! How's everyone feeling?
Excited. Slay. I'm excited and I'm gay. But guess what? Why the hell not?
This is Sharon with Freedom Zone. We're at Durham Pride. It's raining, but the parade has started. And we're off. And we're off. Can you hear the drums? And we're nearly down in the field. As you can hear, people are very excited. It's 3:30. We're on the bus going home.
At the time of my life. Yes,
Oh my God, so much energy.
Yes, and pride. I knew I had to find out more about Freedom Zone and Sharon, who runs the group. So I headed to Packed House, where they all meet on the high street of an old mining town called Stanley. Hey, Sharon.
Hi, Tash.
How you doing?
All right, how are you?
Yeah, so nice to see you.
Good.
So this is Packed House.
Yeah, this is Packed House. Do you want to come in
Yeah, I'd love to.
and have a look around?
Yeah, let's go show me where the magic happens. Could you just describe to me what you're wearing in your outfit? I'm going mullet to toe. And I want to hear that.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Bearing in mind I'm 53. I've always been alternative. So I have a mullet with white streaks running through it. And I have my glasses, which are, I think, quite trendy. And I've got me she, her LGBTQ plus lanyard on, which I wear for work as well, actually, so everybody knows my pronouns. And I've got a Killstar t-shirt on with People Are Strange, because they are. And what else? I've got me, obviously, jewellery. My silver, it's got to be silver jewellery. I've got me bat necklace on that my son bought me. This is my pride and joy. I've got me camouflage pants on and Converse.
And you got high tops, Converse high tops.
Converse high tops,
to
yes.
top it all off.
Exactly.
And your eyebrow piercing.
Eyebrow piercing,
Tongue
piercing, nose piercing, rook piercing, all the piercings.
God, Sharon sounds like a nightmare at the airport security, but cool.
Yeah, she is. And the kids from Freedom Zone all call her their bi mother.
Okay.
Because she's like a mum to them, but she's also bisexual. So I started by asking her to tell me more about the group.
Freedom Zone is a safe space where young queer people can come and be themselves, make friends, have fun, and be there for each other and help one another through the journey of life, if you like. Because it is a journey. They get support and guidance from me with the practical stuff, also emotional support. I've been doing this for nearly 7 years.
It's a long time.
Yeah.
It's long enough to have many children.
Many, many children.
And it sounds like you've got many, many children.
Oh, yes, definitely.
How does it feel for them to call you their bi mother?
Oh, I love it. It's so funny. I mean, I never used to think of myself as being maternal at all, but turns out I actually am. Yeah, but mainly for queer children. But obviously not just for queer children, because in my day job I work with all kinds of young people anyway, but my speciality is queer children. There's not that much help in County Durham, to be honest, for these kids. I was born in Stanley, and it was, like I've said before, it's very much like sort of old-fashioned almost, community, ex-mining town, and it's very much nitty-gritty, like you just get on with it. You are brought up to be strong because you have to be, because we've never had the resources that other places have had. Just walking up and down the front street, there's a lot of empty shops. It's very sort of, it looks like it's on its last legs. It's not a great place to live, but the community spirit is fantastic. It really is. It was very hard growing up in Stanley because we never had any money. And obviously by then the mines had finished, but like my dad worked at Concert Steelworks, which obviously got shut down, so he was unemployed, and it literally he stayed like that for the rest of his life. He couldn't find another job, and it was really, really hard, to be honest. There was no sort of sense of any sort of queerness at all in Stanley that I knew of. I mean, obviously there was always a sense of community. There always has been a sense of community, and people are really friendly, but there was no LGBTQ plus anything at all. You know, it was literally a typical kind of mining town with hard work and salt of the earth people. And it kind of still is. But yeah, the queerness has definitely taken over. I didn't come out till I was probably in my late teens, early 20s, because I just thought everybody felt like that about their friend. Obviously, with being bisexual, it was expected of you to have a boyfriend. Oh, wait, are you seeing a lad? Blah, blah, blah. And it was just only then that I thought, hang on, I'm not just friends with, lasses. I actually do fancy them. What's that about? And then that's where the cogs are. But there wasn't any sort of like, how it is these days. The visibility is a lot better. Back then, there was what even was bisexuality? You had no clue. We didn't have the internet. There was nothing. There was no visible people to look and go, actually, I think I'm like that. Because as well, I didn't feel like I was a lesbian, because I was attracted to men. It just it took longer for us to actually find myself out, if you like, I mean, I say bisexual, I'm probably more pansexual, to be honest. But I think with my generation, you're more likely to say bisexual rather than pansexual, which feels like a new thing, newfangled thing. But it's not, I'm just attracted more to the person than I am to the gender.
When Sharon and I were chatting, I started to ask her about what it was like coming out when she was younger and how that might have impacted her relationship with her son Jake, who's trans.
Well, I mean, obviously I came out to friends, never came out to my mum and dad, never. And obviously they died before, they're both dead. So they died before I had any sort of chance to do that. And I didn't feel like I was comfortable enough at the time before they did die to do that. Dad died first, I was 24. I think the way we were brought up as well has impacted on our parent Jake, because it was all very sort of not really loving. I mean, I knew they loved us and my siblings, but I think there was no demonstrations of love, there was no hugging, there was no kissing. And, with Jake, we're always saying, oh, love you, There's all sorts of that going on. And I think that's helped Jake in his relationships, and that's helped Jake be able to be honest with us about who he is. I bring that sort of mentality to Freedom Zone, and I think that's why they do call us the Bi Mother, because it's all about creating this safe family environment almost, where, they're all siblings and they've got people like me who may not have always embraced my queerness. Now I'm like, yeah, I'm queer. Get over it. I'm here to stay, and I'm going to keep helping these kids until my dying breath, because it is the 21st century and it's time to just get a grip.
Oh my God, Sharon for Prime Minister. Please.
100%.
And it is funny hearing her talk like that, because I have or had family members with her accent, and it's so familiar to me.
Sort of cozy in a way?
Yeah.
I wanted to hear from the kids about what it was like being part of Freedom Zone, and also the impact it had on their lives. So I sat down with Gray, Matt, and Sharon again to hear more.
My name's Grayson, I'm 23 and I'm non-binary. My pronouns are he and they.
Matt, my pronouns are he, him, and I'm 21. We've always had a lot of fun with each other. Sharon always brings something to each session, and no matter what it is, everyone always looks forward to it. I know we used to play Exploding Kittens often. We definitely end in chaos, but no one had any hurt feelings. We just kind of all just laughed about it.
Even if you just want to relax, you can just be there.
Yeah, just sit and chill.
Yeah, it's just validating, just you're there, you're in your little group. Everyone's just open, you know. You don't need to hide anything. You're not like, oh, what if this happens? Like, you can just, you relax, and if there's any issues, you'd know they'd get sorted. But there's very, very rarely any issues anyway.
Yeah, and we all have at least something in common. No matter what it is, you take that and you kind of form a friendship through that. It's amazing.
Does it feel like quite a special space in comparison to other places around here?
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm really happy that I come here because it's helped us make like a lot of friends, and it's like something I've always like struggled with, and I'm really thankful that we have the Freedom Zone.
Sharon passing a little tissue over there to Matt.
I was in my shell a lot. I stuck to myself most of the time when I wasn't with my friends at college. Never got out other than going to college and then going home. So coming to the Freedom Zone, it's really helped us. And I don't think I'd be who I am today without everyone here.
For me in the Freedom Zone, I got bullied to high heaven as a kid. Didn't really want to reach out to anybody because you don't know if they're going to be nice to you or not. Funnily enough, one of the things I got bullied for was because I've got a bit more facial hair, a bit more moustache. Used to get bullied all the time for it, and now it's one of the best things about us. I love it. Plot twist, didn't see that coming. But if I didn't have Freedom Zone and everything, I wouldn't have been able to sort of have the confidence to be myself. But everyone around us, obviously now they're themselves, and it helps me be myself, and I can experiment, figure things out, just trying out the he and pronouns now, as well as the they, them. Without sort of the help of this, half of it I wouldn't even know about, to know that I could try it out. With Freedom Zone, you can try it out, you can learn things, you can ask, and it's just a big help.
It sounds like a family, doesn't it?
It kind of, it is really, isn't it?
Yeah. It's like one big found family.
Yeah, they call me the bi mother.
I think it's very accurate.
Yes.
Because she's just like a mother. She's there for anything you need. And she's always supportive. And I mean, my parents have been a bit rocky, but okay. But for some people that maybe haven't had that support, like, it's a big help, I'd imagine.
Yeah. Because it's like, my mum is like very supportive, but then I think sometimes she doesn't like quite understand it. So Sharon's been a big help in that regard.
Yeah. My stepdad's the same, like, he's supportive, he's working on doing the new name. He's always correcting himself, bless him, but he's trying, I'll give him that. Whereas when I'm talking to Sharon, I don't have to explain all of that, which I don't mind explaining it, don't get us wrong, but it's, if I'm needing help, I haven't really got the time to explain it, process it, to even be able to give us the help I need. So having someone that just understands it all does help, and then it makes I can explain it to other people better as well. But we're getting there. We're getting there. I never thought I'd get this far, so we're doing all right. We're doing all right.
For my mum, when it comes to like the sexuality side of things, she definitely knows a lot about it, because me and both my sisters, none of us are straight. But when it like comes to gender, with me being the only one that wants to like transition, the knowledge isn't quite there. So being able to talk to someone is really helpful. And then when I was coming to do the deed poll, Sharon and Gray actually signed it for us when I did it.
I forgot about that, actually. But yeah, that's another thing with Freedom Zones is, like, it helps you with things like that. And I think it's nice to have your friends and that be able to sign it, and people that you trust. My word for describing Freedom Zone would probably be home. It's the best way I can describe it. It's home. Everyone's there for you. It's somewhere you look forward to going to. And you can feel safe like you would at home. So, yeah, that's my word.
If you could sum Sharon up in one word, what would you say?
One word's not enough.
It's not.
She's the best.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing.
Oh, shucks.
Yeah, I agree. There's not enough words that I can think of to describe Sharon. She's just amazing. Been there for everyone that's come through the Freedom Zone.
Make me cry in a minute.
Oh, Freedom Zone is a little oasis, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is.
I mean, in fact, it's like the group Oasis from Norwich that we talked about in episode 1.
Yeah, nice throwback.
And I do just think that youth groups are super important. They're like separate to the family, separate to school, and they're somewhere to go and somewhere where there are adults who can actually help you with your life.
Yeah, and you can see how much Sharon means to these kids, has helped them, and also the importance of Freedom Zone. But also, they told me how important events like Durham Pride are for them.
It's amazing. Because I always remember, and I don't know why, but there was a little kid, maybe 8, 9, and they had a non-binary flag around their shoulders, and it's just stuck with us. And I think it's sort of give me confidence to be myself, because then in my head it'll help them be themselves. And the more people see it, the more it's normalised, and then the easier it is for other people. So I think since doing the Durham Prides as well, I've been a lot more confident, and I don't hide as much. Not unless I feel unsafe, but that's very rare anyway. But yeah, I try and sort of not hide myself. I am who I am, and the world can deal with it, really. And that's how it should be. I mean, I've always been proud of where I'm from, the mining history. I've always had a strong sense of pride for my community. And I think a lot of the times in the Northeast, there's the sort of, when you look back, we've always been a little hard done to, and we keep going. That spills over into the queer community around here as well. They'll put laws in place, and they'll put people down, and things will happen. And you just sort of feel quite closely knit together. And that's just something I'm really proud of, and I want to help other people be able to keep going.
I do think that point, about keeping going is very northern. There is a darker side to it sometimes, which I'm familiar with, which is like no reflection.
Just keep calm and carry on?
Yeah, exactly. But overall, I do agree with it. Like, keep trying, keep going, just with some reflection too.
Speaking to Sharon and the kids from Freedom Zone was honestly such a joy.
Yeah.
And whilst I was in Packed House, chatting to them, having a cup of tea, Sharon's son Jake and his partner Charlie popped in. So obviously I had to grab them for a chat to hear more about what it was like to have Sharon as a mum.
I'm Charlie, he, him. I'm a trans man, and I'm 23.
My name's Jake, I'm 23, and I'm a trans man. And I use he, him, or he, they.
So we met at sixth form, and we actually met, on an open day, and then we both did physics, but then didn't actually speak until, almost a year later.
Yeah. And then we just...
You dyed your hair green. And I was like, cool hair.
Yeah.
And
you were like, I play guitar. And I was like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. That was the only
that was
flex I had. And I was like, I play guitar.
Yeah.
And then that was it.
And I was like, that's pretty cool.
So how long have you two been together?
6 years.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a long time, isn't it? Going strong?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How has it been being in a relationship and going on your own individual journeys, but ones which are similar?
I think it's been really helpful. I think maybe more so for me than you, only because then I also got Sharon. Yeah.
2 for 1.
Yeah.
Oh, go on. You tell the story from your perspective.
What, when you came out?
Yeah.
Well, basically, I was at Goth Weekend down at Whitby, having a fantastic time. And then I got a text off Jake saying, Mum, do you know what transgender is? And I went, yes. Why? I think I'm transgender. I'm like, okay. So Jake was actually at home with his dad, and I was down in Whitby with my friends. This was Sunday morning. I was slightly hungover, and this bombshell got dropped on us. Couldn't do anything about it. So I rang Jake's dad and said, what is going on? Is he having a laugh? What's going on? So Jake's dad went into Jake's bedroom and said, what, your mum wants to know if you're okay. Yes, I'm okay. And that was it. I literally had to spend the day down Whitby because we weren't travelling back till sort of tea time. With like this going round in my head, what is going on? Because nothing had been said before this. So when I got home, Jake had gone out with his friends. So I didn't get a chance to speak to him. I think that was on purpose, to be honest. Yeah. I think you were avoiding it. And so I didn't get a chance to actually sit down with Jake and have a conversation about it till the Monday after school.
How old are you, Jake?
13.
So yeah, didn't do it in the best way.
No. But still. At least you told us.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
How was it for you, Sharon, just getting used to that?
It was really hard, to be honest. I went through a period of grief, which people don't realise that can happen. Not everybody, not all parents, but a lot of parents go through a period of grief, which is bizarre, but you can't stop it. You can't change it. You've got to literally go through it to get to the other end. Obviously, I was trying to keep that hidden from Jake because I didn't want to put that on him. And it is really, really a hard thing to deal with because it's not just about the grief. It's not just about sort of losing your child. Not losing your child, but losing your sort of what you thought your child would grow up to be, your aspirations for them, all of that side. It's also, where do we go from here? What do we do next? There's nothing. At the time there was hardly any guidance out there. I mean, there was mermaids. They were about then, but there was literally hardly anything. So all I did was I started researching. And what do we do next? Where do we go? And that's how I built up my knowledge.
It's like 10 years ago, isn't it?
Yes, yeah, totally. So things are a lot better now. There's a lot more support out there. I mean, we couldn't even find any support for us to help us at the time. But like things are much better now. There is support out there, and there's people like me out there who can signpost other people. So that's great. But at the time, it was quite a hard slog, wasn't it? So we were just sort of stumbling around in the dark all together. Yeah. And obviously, he came out at school, so he transitioned to school. And he was the first person at his school. So we had to obviously help the school through it. So it was all sort of firsts everywhere.
Plus, I mean, because the school's actually really good. They
were good.
I had a meeting.
What do we need to do?
Yeah, like we had a meeting. Yeah. They just sat down with us and just said, we've never done this before. What do you want to do?
It's quite amazing to hear you both talk about the experience of coming out at 13 and working with the school and all these firsts and having to find that stuff out yourself. Mm-hmm. That's pioneering and has obviously informed who you are today and who you are today, Sharon, and the work that you do, which is so integral to Jake having transitioned, really, isn't it?
Yes.
What led you on your journey to become a part of Freedom Zone? Did it feel like a choice, or was it just like your destiny?
Destiny. Absolute destiny, to be honest. Obviously, doing all that work to help Jake navigate the system, and then obviously starting volunteering at Freedom Zone, and then I became a governor at Jake's school as well. Jake has been my inspiration to better myself and do a lot of work in the community. So now literally, it's Jake's fault. Jake's fault that I work with young people all the time, basically. Like, not just Freedom Zone, I do it in my day job as well. Yeah. So
Sorry about that.
It's just, it's Jake's fault that I'm crazily down with the kids.
Do you think your mum's down with the kids?
Oh, she is down with the kids. Even before the mullet.
Yeah.
You were already down with the kids.
I wanted to hear more from Jake's partner, Charlie. So I asked him how his journey had been to understanding his identity.
I did have a brief conversation with my mum at 14. I was like, I think I'm genderqueer. And she was like, you don't know what you want. You don't know what you are. And I will never call you anything different. So I was like, noted, get everything sorted on my own, and then just inform her this is what's happening. But then when I actually did come out properly, she completely changed her tune. It did take her a long time. So I came out at 16, but it was, I told my mum, I texted my mum as well.
It's a thing.
But she wasn't out having fun. She was about to go to bed. And then she didn't text me back. She didn't talk to me about it the next day. We went, 7-8 months before we talked about it. And then she basically made me promise that I wouldn't do any transition, like medically or anything, or legally, but I couldn't do that anyway, until after I was 18. So I wasn't even allowed to contact the gender clinic until I was closer to 18. When I went to sixth form and met Jake, I was like, hold on, you have a mother that helps you? Probably in the last 3 or 4 years, my mum's actually started using the right name and pronouns regularly. So I've done everything on my own. Well, not on my own, because Jake's been here and Sharon's been here, but
Before that,
yeah, it was all on my own. Now my mum started to become a lot more invested.
Yeah. She's more on board now, isn't she?
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. So she just needed a lot of time.
Oh, it's great to hear those stories from Jake and Charlie.
Yeah.
You know, these are stories that just don't get told enough. Like, people who don't know any trans people, including trans kids, they just see social media gumph and screaming newspaper headlines. It's so annoying.
Yeah. And I feel so invested in those kids. I was nearly in pieces at points, as I'm sure you can imagine.
I bet.
Also thinking about how Sharon has been a parent to Jake, a parent who shows up for their trans kid. You can also hear how much Durham pride means to them all and the importance of it, which led me to someone called Glenn, who had been involved in organising this year's event.
I just wanted to come back and get involved in something so wonderful. And the fact that my tiny little city has a pride in itself is a wonderful thing. And I thought that it was a huge event, massive organisational team. No, about 6 people put Durham Pride on, and they're all so dedicated. And Mel Metcalf, who runs it, he is a wonderful, wonderful man. It was his vision to do that, and he really wanted to put something on for Durham because he's also from Durham, and he thought, well, why don't we have a Pride? You know, gay people live here, LGBT people live here. It's not right that we don't have that. And each year it's just gone from strength to strength. So I did it this year. Really fun, really enjoyable. A lot of last-minute chaos. The rain drenched us all. But it was really, really fun. And it's so special to see people from Durham having, you know, space to be themselves and to go to an event where they can look however they want, party, have fun, bring their friends, bring their partners. And there's no risk of any discrimination or anything like that. They can truly enjoy themselves. And I think having that it's really important. I mean, cities like Manchester and London have these huge, massive commercial prides. And they're great in some ways, but to have a really organic, homegrown pride in the town I was born in, it's just a bit more special.
Glenn's story doesn't end there. And in fact, he's just at the beginning of his own new journey.
I'm Glenn. I'm 28. My pronouns are he, him. And I was born, grew up, and then moved away from County Durham when I was 18. I spent 8 years in London. I started off going there to become a fashion designer, to train to do fashion. Quickly kind of realised it wasn't really what I wanted, and the values of the industry weren't really aligned with what I believe in and what I think is good. So I chose to move back here to pursue a career as a firefighter with Tyne and Wear Fire and Rescue Service. I got my conditional offer the other day, so just waiting to get everything kind of together to see what happens and obviously become a firefighter. It's a funny one because obviously with the diversity, they have to acknowledge it and work hard to kind of make the service more diverse, and that is an aim of many services. I think especially in the North East, the demographic isn't as varied and mixed as it would be in London, so they get the same kind of people applying. So to be a gay man in the service, it'll be interesting because I'll be, one of a few. But I think it has to change. And in my view, a fire and rescue service should represent the people it's protecting. So if you have all sorts of different people in the service, it enriches it and it makes things more understandable. So I don't know what Tyne and Wear is going to be like, but I'm sure I'll be fine. But I just think if I can survive on a building site, I can survive in a fire station.
As Glenn and I talked more, we started to unpack what it felt like to travel back to the North East from London.
I'd get on the train at King's Cross, get the train all the way back up, and it was literally as if the train was going back in time, because Durham, especially not just Durham but the wider north, I'd say like the class consciousness that used to exist here, especially when the mines existed and all the heavy industry, that's kind of faded now, but it's still a very traditional working class place. So alongside that, you have very traditional working class attitudes and beliefs. So for me as a gay man, I mean, I'd go on nights out in London dressed ridiculously, like, fake fur jackets and things and boots and jock straps and all that. And then if I did that here, I'd be risking my life. I wouldn't dare go out looking like that. And I guess in a way it's not something I'm conscious of. It's almost as if I get off the train up north and it's not that I wear this mask, but I'm more careful. I remember back when I was a teenager, my first boyfriend would come visit me in Durham and we wouldn't dare hold hands. It was just this, understanding between us both that was dangerous, and if we did do that, people would shout things at us, we could get attacked. So it's almost like there's this barrier between you being who you want to be and who you are, and then just kind of hiding it between that kind of shell and kind of hiding yourself. That's changed a lot since I've got older, but I still don't feel as if LGBT people in the North East have the kind of access to the kind of liberation that they have in cities like London. And I'm sure you'd get people in London who say, well, we're not there yet, but there's so much more freedom. And especially when it comes to like how you look and dress as well, up north, not everybody, but people, men look like men and women look like women. And if you don't fit into those really strict categories, you will stand out. And it's not common, but, I've known people who've been attacked and have been assaulted and had things said to them, and you just don't feel safe. So I think there is a level of self-censorship that people give themselves when they're up north, and it is a bit of a shame. And it's something that I've experienced myself, and I think I'm a lot more comfortable these days, but I still wouldn't dare go out how I used to go out in London. No. The North's a really wonderful place. People think it's all wastelands and factories and people in flat caps, and it's completely the opposite. Northerners are really wonderful, wholesome people. For example, when I moved back to my village, I didn't know anybody, and now when I walk to my gym on a morning, I'm usually quite late because the amount of people who just stop me in the street to talk to me about the weather, about my family, about what I'm doing, about my job. And I always thought it's just because Northerners are nosy, but it's not. It's because people genuinely care about each other here in a way that when I lived in London, I didn't know my neighbours. And even if I wanted to, there was that gap because people are just so busy and so kind of driven towards just me, myself and I. No one's got time, whereas in the North East, it's a slower way of life. And if you're someone like me who, likes to read in bed drinking chamomile tea, it's more suited to you, to that. But it's just a nicer place to be. If you want to have a support network around you that genuinely do care, you won't get anywhere else like that other than the North East. People do look out for each other here.
Adam, I was wondering how you felt growing up in similar places to Glenn and the others.
Yeah, I do definitely hear myself in some of what Glenn is saying, like not wearing certain clothes, not being too visibly gay, whatever, in my hometowns. I left Cleethorpes at 18 in 2003, and, I haven't lived there since. And to be honest, I probably wouldn't.
That lack of visibility is changing, though, and actually Glenn told me some really lovely stories of him noticing that.
It kind of goes into the whole firefighter thing as well, because when I grew up, I had no role models who were like me. There was nobody around who was gay, other than, Mum used to watch Gok Wan on the telly. That's about as close as you could get when I was a kid. It's terrible. Whereas now there's so much. It's fantastic. I was doing a shift at the library in Durham a few months back, and this one lad comes in, and he comes up to the desk and he was being really shy, and I could see he was embarrassed by what he wanted to ask me, but he said, do you have a book by James Baldwin? And I said, what book? And I knew what he was going to say, and he said, Giovanni's Room. I was like, we do have it. And I gave him the copy, and he was like, I've been trying to find this everywhere, and I didn't want to pay the money for it because I haven't got enough for it. And he must have been about 13 or 14, but he took that away with him. And I just thought, that's his introduction to LGBT literature. And that's just, the fact we've got that on the shelf in the library itself is just brilliant. It means so much. It does. In my local library, there's an older man, and he didn't specifically come out to me, but through overhearing my conversations with my colleagues from all the bad dates I go on, I think he kind of came over and he felt comfortable enough to tell me that he himself was LGBT, and that he'd spent, because he's in his 80s, so to hear his take on it and to kind of know that he felt comfortable saying that to me was a wonderful thing as well.
Aha! Further evidence of the power of books and librarians.
Yes, we love them. There's no doubt in my mind as well that Glenn's visibility was the reason why that kid asked him for the James Baldwin book.
Yeah, that's true.
And also, the old man spoke to him too.
Yeah, and then all the silent people who see you but just don't interact with you for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Somehow you touch them, even if you don't know it, just because you're being yourself, and they can see the truth in that.
Yeah. I really agree with that. Glenn talking about seeing that change since he came back here, it made me wonder more about the change that has happened in the Northeast over the years.
I come from a family, and my story is not unique. There's thousands and thousands of us who have had families who were coal miners, worked in the steelworks, worked in shipbuilding, and it's this sense of hard work and achievement, and the fact that individually they all took part and made this amazing thing. I mean, some of the biggest ships ever built left Sunderland, and the coal dug up from the Northeast, it powered the world and it powered the Industrial Revolution, and that was what we did here. Not me personally, but my family in time did that. And it's that sense of belonging, but it's also the fact that people are just so enthralled and are proud of what they've achieved in the past. And it's not just that, but it's the culture that comes with it. So, for example, at the Miners' Gala, the amount of culture with the music and the art and just the kind of local traditions that exist even now and only exist because of where they came from, it's just so special. And people really do love it and celebrate it as it should be. So in a way, to me personally, it's funny because I was never a coal miner. I've never, the most I've ever done is dig trenches on a building site. But it's that sense of having your identity and sticking by it and not letting anything get in the way of it. People in Durham have had so much hardship, when the mines closed and stuff was took away. And, I could sit here and talk about all the political reasons for that, but at the end of the day, it's all gone. And we live in a 2024 world now where you've got all these villages, all these communities who have lost the one thing that brought them all together, which was the collieries. And even so, they still persevere and they still exist. And I think people up north have this kind of drive to just carry on and to make do with what you've got and just keep going. And that can be exhausting in itself, but it's that kind of that love for each other and the support people have for each other that makes it so special. And we're so harsh on ourselves and we're such overachievers, but that's because we want to just do well for ourselves, and that's something that's instilled in a lot of these families up north with tradition and the fact that you can do anything if you just work for it. And I think it's that kind of confidence and that sort of awareness about myself that has made me so determined to come back here and make a good go of it. This is a place where there is a lot of despair, there is a lot of poverty, and there is a lot of people who don't feel as if there's anything for them because it's all been took away. But despite that, there's still this sense of getting on with it and making do, and it's never going to go away, I think. I think, when the reinvestment does come back to the north, which I do believe it will, inevitably, this place will come back to what it used to be and people will thrive again. And it is starting to get there. It's just going to take a long time.
Tash, you know how Glenn was a fashion designer briefly?
Yeah.
Well, I wonder whether he'll design new looks for the fellow firefighters.
I don't think they call them looks, Adam.
Okay, fair. Glenn and Sharon, champions.
This world needs more Glens and Sharons.
Yes.
There was something that really struck me, though, in what everyone was saying. The pride that is so linked to their heritage and the roots of the Northeast, that strength from their ancestors. It's being applied to their very real struggles of queerness. It's flipping it almost. I love that.
Yeah. Thanks for collecting these stories from the Northeast.
I mean, honestly, Adam, to get to visit Stanley and meet everyone there, I came away so full of love because of the love that they have for each other and for that place. Some more patches for our quilt, sewn with love and pride. Sorry, this is so cheesy.
Tash is getting very soppy now. Okay, well, the next episode, we're off to, well, another place that's famous for coal mining, actually. That's why they call it the Black Country.
Aha.
Tash, I'm taking you to the Midlands.
Great.
To the 90s.
Amazing.
The Quilt is an Aunt Nell production in partnership with Queer Britain, the UK's first and only LGBTQ+ museum, and funded by Mindsets and Missions.
It is hosted and produced by Tash Walker and Adam Smith.
Music by Rhiannon Takel. The assistant producer was Marnie Woodmead.
The associate producers for Queer Britain were Sue Shave, Sean Williams, and Catherine Dick. Mixed and mastered by David Pye. For this episode, we'd like to thank Sharon McIlvaney at Freedom Zone, Packed House in Stanley, Durham Pride, and the staff at Beamish, the Living Museum of the North. If you'd like to talk to anyone about any issues raised in this podcast, you can always get in contact with Switchboard, the LGBTQIA+ helpline, on switchboard.lgbt, or by calling them on 0800 0119 100.
Underwear drawers are like the Wild West of wardrobes. You never know what pair you're going to pull out or what shape it's in. It's time to upgrade your underwear drawer with the buttery soft comfort of MeUndies. MeUndies' signature fabric is as soft as a warm hug from your favorite sweater. Plus, it's breathable and oh so comfy, making it ideal for all-day wear. Get 20% off your first order, plus free shipping, at MeUndies.com/ACAST. Enter promo code ACAST. That's MeUndies.com/ACAST. Code ACAST.